Welcome back to the program. Just want to let you know we will have a little later on in the program, I guess, in about 40 minutes or so. Kanata's in the kitchen with Joni Petrie, and so that'll be on Chef George Coslow as well as Tony DeSalvo. And then a little later on, about 15 minutes following that, we're going to have a woman's perspective with Dr. Laura Batto, and her guest will be Constance Williams Johnston, who is, of course, a councilwoman in Thibodaux, and she'll be talking about some of those issues. If you want to get into the program, 879-1231. I did want to mention this, though, because there is a benefit for the family of Jared Parfait on August the 7th, and that's from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Ward 7 Citizens in Chauvin. And Mr. Parfait passed away last April, and they are having a benefit so that they can help with the funeral expenses. If you want some more information, or if you want to contribute in any way, you can please contact Sherelle Parfait Dardar at 985-466-3038. That's 466-3038, and that's for the benefit of of Jared N. Parfait, and that's going to be again on August the 7th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Ward 7's Club in Chauvin. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Thank you for calling, and welcome to the show. Hello.
Jimmy.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, you?
Good, fine.
Couple of things.
Sure, go ahead.
One, if they'd bring all them jobs that they left here with and went overseas with, if they'd bring all them back to the United States.
You talking about the oil jobs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Put the people back to work over here.
Right.
Treat everybody right, like BP didn't do too good out there. But get everything like that back in order. Bring all that money back out of that Swiss bank account over there and put it back in Chase Bank over here. We'd be in business, buddy.
Yeah, a good point. I agree with you. I understand your point and agree.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot of jobs, a lot of money, that's for sure. Thanks for calling. Welcome to Bayou Town.
Hello?
Hey, thank you for calling.
How you doing, Mr. Jimmy?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Okay, listen, I want to talk about something else.
Sure.
The drug situation.
Okay.
Didn't they had a drug bust a few weeks ago, right?
I think it was maybe last week or the week before. About 40 people were arrested, something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, what people need to understand is that when they get in trouble, they don't only incarcerate themselves, they incarcerate their families too. Because when they have a lot of time, their parents have to go and see them. If they got kids, kids got to grow up while they are incarcerated.
That's a good point.
And I think it's a crying shame that they do that to their parents and everything like that. And it's a bigger problem also. I think half of the people that was picked up in the roundup was African Americans. And I understand that it was a 2-year investigation. Now, I know African Americans is not the only people selling drugs.
Right.
I would like to see the justice system fair in that.
Well, you know,
we do have a drug problem.
Right.
But it's just not one race of people that's out there that's doing it. Because personally, I'm not prejudiced. Drugs destroyed my family.
Right.
I watched my mama suffer. My sister was incarcerated for 20 years unjustly.
Yeah.
My brother was incarcerated. So my mom was going to 2 prisons. And that's why I think I can speak out on this here. And I just wish the young people come to their senses and realize that they don't have to be out there nickel and dime, because half of the people they picked up anyway was only street people, trying to put a little money in their pocket and survive. It wasn't no big old drug dealers. Remember that hovercraft a few weeks ago that caught out there in some Gulf or something,
Right.
bringing so many millions of drugs in. What they should have did, filed it and seen who was gonna take it off the hovercraft instead of just catching it at sea.
No, yeah, no, I understand exactly what you raise. What I think is a fair point, and I think next time, we hear from law enforcement, we'll ask them, because I think you're right. We want to make sure that we're targeting, the right people and not one race or another. I agree with you that law enforcement shouldn't do that. Now, I'm not saying they did that, because you'd have to see where the crime areas are. But I think you raise a fair question, and I'd like to pass that along next time we interview somebody.
And that was going to be my next question.
Sure.
Because I was going to ask you it was a 2-year investigation, Mr. Jimmy. So therefore, they watched the people for 2 years, and
Right.
I know doggone well, it have other nationalities of people that's out there that's doing wrong. Remember a few months ago, the young man, I'm going to say this part, then I'm going to hang up.
Okay.
Remember the young man in New Orleans got stopped. He was walking. He had already had 2 strikes on him, and the officers planted the drugs on him, brought him to jail.
Yeah.
And everything. Then they found out one officer was at the dentist's office having his mouth worked on at the time they falsified the report.
Right.
Officers need to be held accountable when they get caught doing things like that.
And I agree 100%.
So you have a good evening, Mr. Jimmy.
Sure, thank you, and appreciate you expressing that comment. But I do want to say there's certainly no evidence in this drug bust that any officers did anything other than perform their duty like they were supposed to, and did a good job at doing that. But I agree with the caller. People who are in law enforcement or, corporations or whatever are not above the law, and they should be held accountable for, they need to obey the law too. Remember President Nixon? Of course, I remember him. I'm old enough. Way back then, that's the highest person in the land, should be and was held accountable to where he had to resign. What we'll do, take a break. When we come back, we'll go right back to the phone calls.